everyone to this momentous occasion. I'm so thankful that you are all here tonight to celebrate with us. We're so excited. This is the 20th celebration of the Beaufort Fund. I think that alone is worth 20 applauses, but we'll save that. We don't need to do that right now. But I want to welcome you all. My name is Gloria Duryea, and I'm the Stewardship Officer with Coastal Community Foundation, and my office is here in Beaufort County. And I work for we call it the Southern Low Country is my territory, and that's Beaufort, Jasper, Hampton, and Colleton. And so you are all here tonight representing those 4 counties. So let's do another round of applause for that. So it is truly an honor to work for Coastal Community Foundation and to serve you all in this capacity. You are the leaders in our community. You're the nonprofit leaders and you're the community leaders. So thank you for sharing your time with us tonight and throughout the years. I'd like to recognize that Mayor Billy Kaiserling is in the crowd tonight, Mayor of Beaufort. So thank you. And there are many other folks in this room and of course outside of this room that help Coastal Community Foundation throughout the year do the good work that we are able to do. I won't name everybody because we would be here for weeks. But I do want to recognize that we have a couple folks and groups with us tonight. The Beaufort Listening Network is our local committee that meets monthly or so and helps us kind of increase philanthropy in this region. So members of the Beaufort Listening Network, if you're here, raise your hand or jump up and down, whatever you want to do. You guys, pleasure of working with that group, and you help us to move Coastal Community Foundation forward. So thank you for your time and commitment, and your support helped make tonight's event what it is, so thank you for that. Also, there's a group of dedicated volunteers who are working hard every day to grow the Colleton Fund, and there are a couple of you here in the room tonight. If you'll wave your hands around so we can recognize you. That group is working tirelessly to grow some funds to help support nonprofits in the Colleton County area, so thank you for that. So thank you is the next thing on my sheet. I'd like to thank our sponsors. This is the first time that we've had sponsors for this reception, and I think it was wonderful, and we look to do that going forward. So if you were not tapped this year and you'd like to be a sponsor next year, come see me. But we would like to recognize the Beaufort Inn, which is where we are tonight. Tabby Place is part of the Beaufort Inn, so the Beaufort Inn was a major sponsor. Verity Investment Partners, Levin, Gilly, and Fisher, the Beaufort Gazette Island Packet, the Island News, and the Colletonian. So thank you all for your support to help make this. Now, I hope you've noticed the kazoos that are sitting in front of you. If you don't know, Kazooby Kazoos, a beautiful, really cool kazoo museum, is in Beaufort County. And so if you've never been, you need to go. But we hope you take these kazoos home as a token because tonight really, truly is a celebration and it's fun. And so we want you to take this with you. Take a couple. We have a bunch. Please seriously take a couple. And you'll see a big pile at the registration table on your way out. So children, grandchildren, take as many as you need to make everybody happy. And thank you to Stephen Murray who helped us, who's the owner of Kazooby Kazoo. So I wanted to recognize that. So now I will turn the microphone over to my coworker, Veronica Hemmingway, who will move us forward around the progress of the Beaufort Fund.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Veronica Hemmingway, and I'm a program officer. I know, that's all. I'm a program officer at Coastal Community Foundation and a member of the grantmaking and community leadership team, and I have the privilege of working alongside the Beaufort Fund Committee to provide support to tonight's grantees. And I want to take a moment and acknowledge the members of the Beaufort Fund Committee. I'm going to ask y'all to stand. Sorry. No waving of hands. First, we want to acknowledge Fred Washington. He's the chair of the Beaufort Fund Committee. Next, I have the Vice Chair, Bill Singleton, representing Jasper County. Tracy Johnston, who I understand is not here tonight, but she represents Colleton County. We have Jim Marks, Beaufort County. Louise Rawlings, Jasper County. Sharon Stewart, Beaufort County. Charlie Webb, Beaufort County, and Marcia Wood, Hampton County. And I am the newest member to the grant-making and community leadership team, so if I haven't met you, I hope to meet you before tonight's event is over. I recognize a lot of names and on email, so I'm glad to meet you. And next, I'm going to turn it over to our president and CEO of Coastal Community Foundation, Darrin Goss.
Thank you, Veronica and Gloria, and thank you all for being here this evening to help us at the Coastal Community Foundation celebrate 20 years of leadership through the Beaufort Fund. 20 years of making an impact in the lives of probably hundreds, if not thousands of people in the 4-county region that the fund supports. And so I want to just give you, the nonprofits who are in the room, I think the Beaufort Fund committee members, they haggle and wrestle over who's going to get the funding, and they've done that exceptionally well over 20 years. But for the nonprofits in the room, and some of you who've been grantees for the Beaufort Fund since its inception, I want everybody else in this room who's a donor, who's a stakeholder, who's a staff member, to just let's applaud them, because they do the hard work every day in serving our communities in Colleton, Jasper, Hampton, and Beaufort County. So let's give all of our nonprofit partners. 2 years ago, I said I have the best job in South Carolina. I really believe I do, because I get a chance to work alongside people who are deeply passionate, deeply committed to the communities in which they live, the communities in which they serve. I get a chance tonight, along with you, to honor such a leader. Mr. Fred Washington, who has been the chair of the Beaufort Fund Committee, really since its inception, maybe 1 or 2 years after its inception, has been a leader across many different sectors in the Beaufort area, from local government, on the city council, to the school board, to being a public official with the Department of Social Services. Fred's leadership is unquestioned in this region, in this community. And as a matter of fact, he was one of the steering committee people who hired me, so Fred, thank you for that as well. But his leadership and his resume really doesn't need any introduction. Fred, please join me on the stage and let us give you a warm welcome and a round of applause to show our appreciation and love for your leadership of the Beaufort Fund. I've asked Fred to say a few words before we continue the program.
Never give me a mic.
That's why I'm standing real close to him.
First of all, I'd like to thank you. I had hoped to pen a couple of words earlier today, but then I got a call that my sister had to go to the hospital, and I was down there before coming here. But I don't really need to write down too much when I think about this group. When I look at you, Darrin has said some things that I wanted to say. When I look at you, I think about people. I think about humanity. The fact that you all contribute to the betterment of people and humanity. And one of the things I'm especially proud of is that this fund, and I'm biased about the Beaufort Fund, I think it's the best working group when it comes to decisions about needs and doling out the funds. We are a diverse group, but we know how to get together. We don't let differences divide us. We try to identify what we have in common, and we work from that. And we think that that's an example that more people ought to follow. One of the things that I'm especially proud of, because this group also believes in coordination and collaboration. There are a number of you that serve similar functions. And one of the things that we have wrestled with for a long time is how can we get them to communicate to each other so that we can maximize the dollars that go out to a particular need that exists in the community. We have multiple reading groups that serve a good purpose. And one of the things we're trying to make sure, because the need is so great, we want to make sure there's no duplication, that we reach as many people as possible. And I want to thank you for working with us on the collaborations that you have put together. I'm mindful of First Steps and the different counties, the fact that they have joint training and that they work on projects together. Those are the things that we have, the Alzheimer's groups. And we have a great organization in COSY that acts as a model on bringing people together for a common purpose to get to the solution in as efficient way as possible. So I salute you. When I think about our community, I know that we are in good hands when it comes to human needs. When we think about the needs of people, that you put people first. It's very easy for us to be in a combative or a competitive mode that is destructive. It's easy to do that because everyone's going after that dollar. But your attitude has developed a culture in this community that I think is unmatched in this state. And I want to salute you in the fact that you've given me an opportunity to work with you to accomplish the things that you have accomplished. So thank you. I'm not going to go to my other notes that I have. Darrin will be pulling the gong. But I truly appreciate the years that have served. And this has been one of the highlights in my life. I can honestly say, working with the different groups and seeing us work together. That's been a highlight in my life. And thank you for the opportunities you've given to me. Thank you.
We asked Mayor Billy Kaiserling about Fred, and he said these words. You took over as leader of the Beaufort Fund when it was little more than a dream, and have led it to grow and serve more community agencies than one could ever imagined. Your steady hand at the helm has created something our community deeply needed. Thank you. Before Fred leaves, we'd like to present him a little token of our appreciation for his leadership and his work. It reads, Outstanding Service. Coastal Community Foundation is pleased to award this certificate to Fred S. Washington, Jr. in honor of his years of service to the Southern Lowcountry as a founding Beaufort Fund Advisory Committee member and chair. And I've signed that, Darrin Goss, Sr., President and CEO of Coastal Community Foundation. Along with this, Fred, you have the opportunity to grant $500 to the charity of your choice. So we want you to do that as well. Thank you very much. Let's give Fred another round of applause. Before I make some comments to close out tonight and bring folks up to take pictures and allow you the opportunity to go back and fellowship and shake hands, I did want to recognize a couple of people who are here tonight, members of our board of directors from the Coastal Community Foundation. Our board chair, Mike Branham, and his wife, Teresa, is here tonight. Mike, would you just... And then no stranger to Beaufort, D.C. Gilly and his wife Nancy are here as well. Where's Nancy go? I see D.C. Okay. At the foundation, we understand that we are stewards of resources and values. 20 years ago, with a generous gift from donors, the Beaufort Fund was established. 20 years ago, November 15th, that fund set out to make a significant impact in the low country of South Carolina. 20 years later, $8,624,000 later, the Beaufort Fund continues to be a catalyst for philanthropy in the Southern Low Country. As I mentioned earlier, more than 200 nonprofits, many in this room, who have been the beneficiaries of those funds over the last 20 years, continue to do the difficult and sometimes thankless work in the trenches every day of changing people's lives, of teaching people to read, of giving people hope, of giving them access to health care, of doing the hard work that sometimes go unnoticed. And so for that, we are very grateful. We are satisfied, but not necessarily satisfied to the point where we're ready to stop reflecting on the last 20 years. I want us, in just over the next few minutes, to think about the next 20 years. Because the Beaufort Fund is an endowed fund, that fund will be here forever. And I like to say that, in perpetuity. That means so as long as the Community Foundation exists, as long as this community has needs, that fund will be here to meet those needs. And that's a powerful statement of the forethought of endowed philanthropy, of what the donors and what this community has literally invested in this community. So what does the next 20 years look like? Fred mentioned collaboration. I can tell you that as the leader of the Coastal Community Foundation, and I have colleagues here from the United Way of the Low Country, from the Low Country Community Foundation of the Low Country. We not only want the nonprofits to collaborate, but we think it's important as philanthropic organizations for us to lead in collaboration as well. And we're doing that. Last year we talked about how we were coming together to collaborate. I should report to you that over the last 10 months, with our partners here in the Low Country, from Tina Gentry's shop and Denise Spencer's shop, we've held community conversations around the region. And what we found out is that it doesn't matter if they're in Bluffton or if they're in Colleton or Hampton or Jasper or Charleston or Georgetown or Horry County, that people care about access to economic opportunity. They want to be a part of the growth in this region and the opportunities that this American country provides. I also want to tell you that people want quality education wherever they are. They want to access opportunities like the neighborhood outreach centers, but they want to be able to go to their public schools and get great educational opportunities and have access to that. They also understand that affordability is an issue, that they want to be able to live where they work and not be disconnected in communities because they have to drive an hour back and forth to find affordable housing and then have to work somewhere 45 minutes away. They want safety, and they also want to be connected as a community. As stewards of values and resources, as partners with other philanthropic organizations, individuals, and institutions, I'm proud to say that the Coastal Community Foundation, through this excellent Beaufort Fund, is ready to take on the challenges that we'll face the next 20 years. That we're going to be here. That we're going to be here and we're going to continue to listen through our Beaufort Listening Network. We're going to continue to make tough decisions, but bring consensus, as Fred talked about, in our grant making, and we're going to do that in a way that builds community. We're going to build community because represented in this room is the diversity of our community. You do that well. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to be a steward of your values, to be a steward of your resources, to be a part of your community, and to build what I would consider a good society. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We appreciate it. I think all I'll turn this back over to Gloria. Thank you so much. And if I hadn't got a chance to talk to you, please let me shake your hand or hug your neck before you leave tonight. Thank you.